7 deadly sins of singing. I'm going to share with you 7 things that impede your development as a singer and stop you from becoming the singer that you have the potential to be. So keep watching. Now, before we dive in, I just want to thank everyone who's already subscribed. And if you haven't already, remember to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you always know when a new video is coming out. It's my mission to help 10,000 singers every single year, to reach 10,000 singers every single year and help them. And by you liking, commenting and subscribing, and of course sharing, this is going to help get these videos out to more and more singers. So let's dive in. I've been singing since 1999 and I've been a voice coach since 2003. So that's a long time. And during that time, I have played thousands of gigs. I've worked with thousands of singers, either alongside them while I'm touring or with them as their voice coach or music teacher. I'm also a music lecturer. And I've seen these mistakes that I'm about to share with you. I've seen them come up time and time and time again, not only with beginner singers, but also with singers who have been singing for a while, particularly those who don't have any training. Now, they do sometimes come up with people who have had training, but if you are taking ongoing training and you're always constantly looking to evolve as a singer and you're always looking to develop as a singer and not remain stagnant, you're likely to avoid these mistakes. So let's jump in. Deadly singing sin number 1, over singing and also under singing. I'm going to put them together. Over singing. Now, a lot of singers, it's really easy to understand why. Let's take a song like anything by Whitney Houston, Mariah Carey, Celine Dion, Steve Tyler, those kind of ballady, Guns N' Roses, those kind of slowy ballady songs that you know, the Aerosmith and Guns N' Roses do have some ballady songs as well. But any of those types of ballady songs or any song really, you can really over sing them. So let's take a song like I believe The Greatest Love of All, for example. So you could really go in at the beginning. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. That's great, but you've got nowhere to go. So if you start big, there's no way for you to build up. And when you get to the big chorus, your voice is really going to feel it. You're going to feel like you can't hit the notes. You're going to strain and you're going to feel absolutely shattered before you've even gotten to the end of the song. So the recommendation is to not sing full on all the time. Save some and hit the big notes when the big notes need to be hit. The same goes for under singing. Well, it's the other way around, of course. Under singing. So if you sing like this, I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Show them all the... There's nothing there. There's no feeling. There's no energy. There's no emotion. So we need to find a balance. So rather than putting in loads of effort, what we want is energy. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Now, there's a mid-range there, there's a middle, there's a balance. So when I get to the chorus and those big notes, I've got somewhere to go. And then after the chorus, in the verses, I can bring it back again. So that means that during the song, you are taking the audience on a journey. So we use the dynamics and we use the energy to create the story of the song. Deadly singing sin number 2. Poor vocal technique. This isn't your fault. If you don't have good vocal technique, the only way to get vocal technique is to learn. Now, what a lot of people do, what a lot of singers do, is learn from YouTube videos like this or from courses, which is great to an extent. These types of videos and the videos I make, I try to be as helpful as possible so that you can actually learn from them to some extent. A lot of these types of videos don't. They just tell you what you need to do. And that's because they want you to pay for the how, whereas I give you a lot of the how. Now, I understand why voice coaches do that, and I'm not saying they shouldn't. What I am saying that if you are going to follow YouTube videos, make sure that you find a way of understanding how to implement the vocal techniques that you're being shown. Some singers don't even do that. Some singers just believe that it's okay to just open your mouth and let the sound come out. Now, for a few singers, a small percentage of singers the world over, that's going to work for a long time. But when you do come up against vocal challenges, problems, issues with your voice, then you're going to find it a lot harder to undo old habits. So it's really important to get good vocal technique, as good as you can afford, right from the start. Deadly singing sin number 3. I know probably every singer in the world has done this at some point. This is lack of vocal warm-up. You absolutely must warm up every time you sing, even if, all right, not if you're just like sitting around in a room with your mates and your favourite song comes on, but every time you're going to perform, even if you're only performing one song at a family gathering, but go and warm up first, because vocal health is really important. You wouldn't go, an athlete hopefully wouldn't go and run a race, a serious race, without at least stretching first, okay? So it's the same with our voices. Our vocal cords are made up of fibers and muscles, and it's really important that they're agile, flexible, and healthy every time we sing. That way we avoid straining, we avoid tearing and bruising and vocal nodules. No one wants that. Deadly singing sin number 4, overlooking health and hydration. So along with vocal warm-ups, your vocal health is very, very important. I know singers who have issues that continue for years and years and years, but because they're able to get away with it, because maybe they're punk singers or metal singers or rock singers and they've got this raspiness in their voice, they can get away with it because it goes with the stylistics of the type of music that they play. But all this does is that it makes for more issues later down the road. So it's like any other health issue. If you've got a toothache and you leave it because it only comes up every now and then, by the time you go to deal with your toothache, you might have a big abscess or a root canal that you need to deal with. Whereas if you dealt with it a few months or even years before, it might have just been a case of going to the hygienist. Okay, so make sure that if you've got some kind of vocal health issue, for example, if your voice is croaky all of the time, even when you speak, if you find that there's a lot of air coming through your voice when you sing, and it also happens when you speak, if you find that you've got, along with these types of issues, if when you swallow you feel like there's some kind of lump or something blocking, or if you feel there's any kind of block, if you've got any kind of raspiness, or if you lose the extremities of your voice, then go and get help. Go and see a doctor, get referred to an ear, nose and throat specialist, and make sure that there's nothing serious going on down there. Now, without wishing to scare anyone, issues with your voice can also be linked to heart problems. So if there's any kind of issue going on with your voice, particularly something to do with the flow of air, go and get it checked out. Deadly singing sin number 5. I'm sure almost all of us are guilty of this. I know I definitely have been in the past. This is inadequate song choice. Choosing songs that are out of your range, or that are too fast for you to sing, or that you don't have enough vocal control to sing. What this does is it demotivates you, it puts strain on your voice, and it just causes more issues. All of these things, we're coming up with the same patterns, okay? We don't want to cause vocal issues. We don't want to impede our vocal health. So by starting with easier songs, more accessible songs for you that are within your range, rather than trying to screech your way to a high note or gravel your way to a low note. Gravel your way? You know what I mean. To a low note. Choose songs that are within your range, expand your range, develop your vocal health, develop your vocal strength and stamina and your ability to maneuver between the different vocal registers so that you have a nice smooth transition when you're singing. That's going to help you to then choose more difficult, more complex and more challenging songs. If you're not sure where to start, I do have a list of good songs, songs that are good for beginners. I'll pop it in the comments. I'll try to remember this time. Or just go to Google and type in songs for beginners low voice, songs for beginners middle voice, mid-range voice, songs for beginners high voice. But only go for those songs where at the beginning you can reach the notes. We want a little bit of a challenge, but let's do what we can do first, take it step by step and then move on. Deadly singing sin number 6. Neglecting performance skills. It's all well and good if when you just sit there or just stand there, you can hit high notes and you can hold long notes and your vibrato sounds amazing. If you can't deliver it as a performance, it's going to look boring, it's going to sound boring, it's going to feel boring, your audience are going to get bored. Being a good singer, a strong singer and an outstanding singer is about the performance as much as your ability to actually sing. Now, there are lots of great performers who are not particularly great singers, but we remember them because they shine on stage. So, if you are a strong singer, but you lack performance skills, work on your performance skills. Watch yourself in the mirror. Watch live performances by other singers, not just big singers, not just the Beyoncés and the Bruno Marses of the world. Go out to gigs, live gigs where you can see people on stage. What you're going to see there is a variety of people who are really good performers and not so good performers. And what you can do there is you can learn what not to do and what to do, and you can adapt that into your own performances. Model people, don't copy them, model them. Video yourself practicing, watch yourself back, give yourself feedback and get feedback from other people. It's really important to work on the whole singer. So holistically, it's your voice, your vocal health and your performance skills and your ability to be able to reflect, evaluate and progress. And finally, deadly singing sin number 7 is failure to adapt and learn. It's really, really easy to get stuck in the same routine and stuck in the same patterns, singing the same way that you always sing. Now, if you found a way that works for you, that's great. But chances are, not only do we have more vocal research that's going to help you to sing in different ways, more effective ways and more efficient ways, but also when you adapt and you learn how to do different things, or you learn new ways of doing something that you've done for a while, it refreshes your brain, it refreshes your routine, and it gives you a new love of singing. And it also helps you to develop as an artist. So if you're always doing the same things, I've seen I'm not putting anyone down, but I've seen function singers and pub singers in the past, and they do the same thing week after week, month after month. And their voices become flat, as in dead and lifeless. Their performances become flat, dead and lifeless. There's no emotion behind them because they're just going through the motions rather than actually putting the feeling into what they're doing. So it's really important to learn new things, learn new ways of doing things, and to learn new techniques that help you to make singing more efficient, safer for your vocal cords, safer for your body, and easier for you as you get older. So I hope that those 7 deadly singing sins have helped you. I hope you've had a little bit of fun along the way. I'm sure that there are some things that you recognise in yourself. I know that I've definitely done a few of those things. We're only human, okay? So if you find that you're doing a few of these things and you'd like to improve the way that you approach your singing practice. Just take one at a time. Maybe you just want to start with drinking a little bit more water, or just start with warming up every time you sing. Just start with one and then add them in, and your routine will become a lot more healthy, a lot more efficient, and you'll become a much better singer. I hope you've enjoyed this. I'll see you very soon. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you very soon. Stay hydrated. Ciao!